you guys want to just come up to the stage and we can start that? Or do you want to huddle in the corner and, hum to yourselves? Nothing to see in the corner of the room. It is a figment of your imagination. You guys can sit down and want to test your mics real quick, make sure we can. Did you really bring dinner to a panel? Judging you so hard right now. Okay, say hello on the mic so I can make sure this works. Your seems low. Say something. This mic over here is sounding not there. Yeah.
Hello?
Tap it harder. Get two fingers go. Yeah. Do it again. Keep doing it. Right? Oh, there we go. I think we have sound.
Hello? Oh.
Yay!
Hello.
Now, everybody say hello at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Hey, that worked, ladies and gentlemen. ACT102. Give me a round of applause.
Oh, my ears!
Hello, everyone. Hello. It's been a long time. Actually, not really.
No, it's been pretty long.
Oh, for me. Oh, yeah.
Depends.
We should introduce ourselves.
Yes.
Oh, Mary.
From me?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yay!
My name is Barry, and I'm the leader for ACT102, and my color is floral lavender. Nice to meet you all. Yay!
Hello, I'm JoJo. My color is Princess Pink. I always say I'm resident gamer, but a lot of us play games, so I don't know. I'm just here, so yeah. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Mana, and my number color is Nikang Orange, and I'm the resident bird enthusiast.
And I'm Crystal. Whoa. Well, I hear myself in every ear. That's weird. Okay, all four. My color is clear aqua. And are we saying what the word the resident of?
Yes.
Very good. I didn't do that.
Okay, Crystal.
Okay. Me and then Mary. I guess I'm the resident dog petter and bubble tea drinker.
What am I, mom?
Mom.
Yes.
Whatever you want to be.
Good. Oh, J-pop specialist.
Oh, that's true.
J-pop specialist, yes.
Knowledge.
I'll take that.
In every way.
I'll take that. Yes, so there's only 4 of us today, but we actually have 7 members, so the other 3 unfortunately couldn't make it due to this event being on a weekday. But I hope you will enjoy nonetheless with the 4 of us, and hopefully you guys can come to another of our show where all of us are present.
More time to get to know us right here.
Yeah, to heck with the rest of them. They should have showed up.
Just to watch. Alrighty, so
does anybody have a question for these other ladies? Yes?
Hello. I was wondering, what's it like make an album, an original album? Like, do you start with covers when you start out, or you make your own original stuff at the beginning?
So we started off with covering a lot of songs, mostly idol songs, but we are actually working on an original song right now. It's coming along very soon, so I hope everyone will be able to look forward to it. And from there, we do have a plan to make more original songs so that we can release a full album at some point. If you know any producers that might want to work with us, please refer them our way. Yay!
Do we have another question?
That's a short comment.
Okay. How did you guys start? How did you guys come together?
That's a very good question. So we actually started at Uncle Tetsu's Injo Cafe Do you guys know about it? Yeah, exactly. Yes. So Uncle Tetsu's Cheesecake opened a maid cafe about 3 years ago in 2016 in Toronto. Yes. And it was around Dundas and University area. So we were actually all maids there. We started off serving, and they also made a performance team. So we actually did weekly performances back in the day. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. we were performing, and that's how ACT102 was made. And that's actually what ACT102 used to stand for, Angel Cafe Toronto. And the 102, if you say Tetsu, Uncle Tetsu super quick. Sounds like Tetsu. So that's where the name came from, yeah. And she's casually munching on her food. So yes, that's how we were formed. We actually had a lot of members coming in and out. All the maids that were working there were eligible to be part of ACT2 if they were interested in performing. Some of them were a little too shy to do so, but there's a lot of us who really like to do it. Unfortunately though, the cafe closed last year in August. We're still sour over it too. We lost our home stage. But we did decide to continue ourselves. We really love performing, we really love to work with each other, so we decided to keep the name but kind of come out of the under Uncle Tetsu brands and to make our own group. So ever since then we've been self-producing, self-promoting, and we have an amazing manager back there helping us too, but generally we're doing everything ourselves.
Even though we lost our home stage, we've gotten a lot more opportunities. Like you see, we're at Expo for the second year. Yay! But this is our own show. Last year we actually collaborated with Nathan again. So they brought the professional maid idols from Japan, and we opened a little show for them here. And we actually just came back from Vancouver. We're at a convention there, so that's exciting. Yes.
Do we have any questions?
Hello, I don't know anything about J-pop, so this might be a stupid question. What's the rationale or inspiration around the maid costume?
So we kept the maid because we originated from a maid cafe, and we actually had a different set of outfits for like when we actually worked there. There was a different set of outfit. So when we left the cafe, we didn't really want to lose our roots. That's where we were from. That's where we came from. So we wanted to keep that concept. So we got a brand new set of maid outfit, but we kind of dressed it up a little bit so it's more idol-like than practical maid outfits. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know what kind of venues you now do since you're not at Tetsu's place.
So we do perform at some cons, like we were at Enemy North or an Expo, but we do have our own monthly shows. We usually rent out a venue somewhere in Toronto. These days we've been very lucky with renting out a venue called Dance Makers, so we hold like a little monthly show there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a very intimate setting. The audience is really close to it.
So question, did you have to audition to be part of the group?
Interesting question. So it's actually the very honest answer depended on the person. So when the team originally started off, there were a couple people who was already chosen who showed interest. Because I think at that point, the priority was making the team. And so I just joined as it is. And then later as we proceed and we had more people interested in joining, and then also the original, we had about I think 10 people like for the very first, and then the original, and some of them after joining they realized, oh, it's not something I wanted to do. It wasn't something I saw, so they would quit. And then there were some others who needed more practice before they can go on the show. So then the management decided, okay, we actually probably need to audition now. So after a couple months, I think, we started auditioning people. I think Crystal joined the audition.
Yeah. The auditions changed too.
The audition process did change too as we proceed. Yeah. I think. Do you want to talk about your audition?
So for me, I had to learn 2 dances, but we had like kind of a training session. So it was just, I got taught 2 dances, and then I did the 2 dances with a group of people, and that was it. Yeah. And then,
Actually remember.
you have to do your own song.
You have to do your own song. Wait, did you have to do?
I think I had my own song because I remember I had to dance alone. But I remember that at the beginning, I had a dance practice with Barry, and she taught me the song. And then after that, did I record it for you?
I honestly don't remember that. Because the funny thing is with Mana, she passed her audition, joined, and disappeared for 2 months. Because she went back to Japan for the vacation. So
Did I think I had to like re-send some videos after.
yeah, I think so.
So a lot of stuff happened, but
I think, yeah, I did
the song solo and then I recorded them, and that's how my audition process.
For me, it was, so I kind of joined the cafe because I like dancing already. So I was actually already on a dance team, but it was not J-pop. It was like hip-hop, heels, like not this style at all. Like it's completely different world. But actually, I'm sure Barry remembers, I was like really eager to join. So I actually joined, I think in like the first 2 weeks, I was like working at the cafe. So I had to learn 2 of the cafe songs and then 1 of my like J-pop song. So I like, for me, I didn't know J-pop, so I just looked up J-pop dance music. And then I like picked one that was like kind of cool, and I learned that. So I had to learn 3 songs, and then I performed it by myself. But also I remember Team A was doing, like, you guys were doing like singing practice that day. So I had to audition in front of Barry and the managers and Team A, and I was like, yeah, but it turned out okay. I think my audition could have been better, but at least she saw some hope in me.
Yeah, so I was actually in charge of the audition process as well, so I was sort of leader / stage manager / doing a lot of things. So mostly everyone's first contact was me, and then I would kind of direct them for what song. But they did have to pass the management level as well, so we would watch their audition together, and then the management had the final say in it. I did have input, but JoJo actually messaged me before I met her. She messaged me on Instagram and she was like, I just joined the cafe and I'm gonna audition for ACT102 too. Like, just wanted to say hi. I'm like, I need to meet this girl ASAP.
I was super eager. It's just such an exciting thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to try it. And so I'm glad that, and since I was actually the last person to join before the cafe closed, so I'm glad that like I took initiative to be quick, because then I have more time with them. Yeah, because I know a lot of other people, their process is long. Like mine was like very, very short. So yeah, I'm glad that it was like the first thing I thought of to do.
So you have a hip hop dance background. Do the rest of you? So I know there's training that happens after you're cast, after you're already chosen for the group. Did you have any training or any experience doing anything similar in the cafe, or even before that? Do you take classes now? Like how do you build your skill if you haven't done so already?
I guess I can go first, but so for me, I actually do have a dance background. I danced since I was like 3, and then I took a little bit of a break, but I actually dance like every style, so Afro, hip hop, jazz, ballet, and I actually used to do competition jazz and ballet, but that was in the States. So I always had dance background, and then I took a break when I went to school, and then when I came to Toronto, so that was actually about 2 years ago now. My first thought was to join like a hip hop, a team, because I know that Toronto is good for dance teams, so that's kind of how I kept my dancing going. But overall, yeah, I always dance, so I don't know, yeah.
So I do have a dance background as well. When I was 13, I started ballet because I wanted to join the Japanese musical theater company. Sadly, that didn't happen, but if it did happen, I wouldn't be here today. So I was working hard for that. And then after that, I auditioned, but I didn't get in. And I still wanted to continue dance. And I stopped taking classes for it, but I really missed it, so that was why I joined. And I also did jazz and modern dance.
And I also took dance lessons. Actually, it just so happened that us 4 are the members in our team who have dance backgrounds, and the others, all others here have no dance background. So I also I took ballet since I was 3 years old and jazz, but then I stopped when I went into high school because I got more serious with band. So I need to do my practice. Clarinet. But then, yeah, I'm from Calgary, Alberta. So when I moved here, I was like, oh, I miss dancing. So I found a K-pop group and then ACT. So that's why I keep dancing.
Yeah, so I learned ballet when I was little, and then I learned Chinese traditional dances. Did a bit of tap, a bit of jazz, but not enough to do anything with it. Then I started teaching K-pop at a children's dance school, and ACT happened, and now I'm teaching them, teaching J-pop to them. And yeah, as Crystal said, it happens to be the 4 with dance background, but the other 3 actually has 0 dance background, and so when they started, I trained them to bring them up to speed. One of them did cover songs on her own, so she knew a little bit of it, but there was one member who had absolutely 0 experience. So her audition process actually took about half a year for her to get up to speed.
Which one? It's really hard though. So I think most people can't tell.
Yeah, and also when I was in high school, I was really big into musicals. So I was always in musical productions in my school. And it's actually, I always really loved doing that. And finding ACT and doing J-pop is there's something really similar about it. It's you're playing, it's not just a character because it's me, but it's that energy and the animation of it, and then being able to the lines and singing and dancing all together just feels like home. So yeah, I think musical theater also is kind of part of that dancing, singing experience.
Question over here? Yes, this question is from Dana. He asked, what plans do you have for ACT next year?
Oh, is that me? Yeah, so actually, thank you for your question, Dana in the phone. So Barry will be graduating in September, so I will be leader again, kind of. We have she went to Korea for 6 months, so then it was me, and then I was back to her and we co-lead. So in the next year, I think probably reaching out to more cons, I guess being out kind of Canada, maybe really close to the States, but we'll see about that because there's visas and stuff maybe. But yeah, I think just building more on what we're doing, working on original stuff, we're working on the song, making music video for that. More merch because I think people want towels and there's headlight inserts. Yeah, I mean if you have ideas you can let us know too. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
What's the best part about being in a J-pop band?
Having each other. It's like we've started off as co-workers, but we are here now not only as members, but really, really close friends. And we share everything with each other, and it's just amazing to have like 7 people who like you can always rely on. Yeah, and but also being able to perform is the biggest part.
Last time we answered this question, there was some waterworks, so we're trying to
Yeah. It was the end.
Oh yeah.
So
I was tired.
To add to her original question about like dancing, was there training to learn how to dance and sing at once, or was that like you had to learn how to integrate it together over time?
Take it away, Mama.
So Barry had experience from before, and
No. At home maybe for fun.
but aside from Barry, I don't think any of us really had you did musicals.
Yeah.
So
I
you
did the
did
musicals. Yeah, that was for me the experience. But other than that,
other people. Well, I'm in a choir, and so sometimes you do like songs with movement, but we're none of us in the choir are really dancers, so it wasn't like a lot. So really doing J-pop like singing style with dancing was a first for a lot of us. So we had to practice, and at the beginning with our line distribution, we didn't like separate people too much. We tried to keep it like 3 people singing at once, so then if we could support each other. now I think we've gotten a lot better, and we can like support, just like we don't have to like, we can stand on our own basically.
it was kind of like an idea, well, something that we've thought about doing, but we didn't do. We only started it last year, this year. Yeah, so we're like, why not? And we tried it, and it was good. We all sound good together.
I think the biggest thing for us, at least I know for me and some other members, is confidence. Because it's hard to hear your own voice. I'm sure you guys have tried when you watch a video of yourself and you're like, oh, like cringing, that's how I sound, like I think, I actually, before ACT, I had a huge fear, I kind of still do, but it's much better. I had like this huge, it's not just a fear, it was like a phobia of singing in front of people, but I would be in choir and musical theaters and stuff, but I would just make sure that like, you can't really hear me because I was so self-conscious about it. But I think all of us have gotten very confident singing on the stage. So that's one thing I think that we're all like working on.
You can do it.
Yeah, like I think Yui, who's not here today, I think she had the most self-conscious when it comes to singing. So even during practices, like you barely hear her that she's beside you, but she's gotten a lot more confident. She's singing a lot louder now. We have a lot more to improve, but I think we're proceeding little by little.
Oh, so for our Annie Bravo stage, we were like doing mic check, and like the mic sounded really loud, so we're all like, why is the mic so loud? It's so loud. And then we were just like practicing, and then we played it with the music, and Barry was doing the sound with them. And she was like, yeah, it's fine. You can't hear yourselves at all. Like, you can't hear yourselves at all. It's good, just sing loud. So everybody's like, oh yeah, that's okay, it's fine. Like, they won't hear us. And then after we watched the videos, and we're like, oh my god, we can hear ourselves, but it sounded good. So in the end, it was good. I'm like, you're sneaky.
Gotta do what I gotta do.
It's good methods.
Hello. So, hi.
Can you talk a little bit about the creative process? Does someone come through with, say, here's a new idea for a song, or I got this really great dance move, and then you bring it to the people, everyone else, and you say yes or no? Like, how does that work? Do you have the opportunity to be creative like that, be like an artist in the true form?
So up until this point, mostly we've been doing dance covers for a very long time because we did start off at the cafe and it was sort of like a side project for most of us. So in terms of like deciding songs and stuff, we do decide it together. Everyone kind of come up with like, I want to do kind of like, you know, a disco sounding song, or like, you know, we have a member, Rena, who really likes, you know, jazzy, sort of like the 60s style songs. So she will come up with songs like, can we do this one? So we kind of just get everyone to submit their ideas, and then we kind of vote on it for what kind of songs we want to do. For the original song that we're making right now, so that's actually the first time we are having like a full reign of like artistic choice on what we want to do. So we did a lot of meeting amongst ourselves, kind of to come up with saying what kind of sound we want. It is our very first original song, so we wanted to represent the ACT Kingdom a lot. We found a producer in Hong Kong. We had a lot of meetings with them as well over Skype. Sent them a lot of different songs that we got inspirations from. And where we are right now, we got to the point where the song is almost done. We are working on the lyrics right now. And the lyrics too, all the members submitted ideas on what we're going to talk about. And I'm kind of compiling them together and put it into Japanese for the end results. So we like to work together as a group.
But Barry does not work though. Barry has experience writing lyrics, actually. Yeah. With choreographing as well.
Yeah.
Resident J-pop, all
J-pop genie.
Oh, hi, I am Jay. Again.
I remember you.
Yeah, it's me from the Fan Festival.
Yeah.
However, JoJo is my first one I've met.
Yeah. First meeting, yes.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Barry, who's graduating this year. I saw it on Instagram.
Thank you.
Oh, and I hate to ask you this, but how old are you guys?
Ageless and timeless. That's it.
You're angel.
Yes.
You don't have a
Speak up, dearie. I can't hear you.
How old are you? I already asked. And how did you guys practice in order to become idols?
I think being at the cafe and performing at the cafe really helped us build like our idol sense. Because some of us, when you watch our early videos, we aren't like the same as we are now. Like some of us are more like low key. We weren't as like bubbly and excited, or because like some people, they really weren't exposed that much to J-pop culture, so they would come in with like not much knowledge. But then as like, you know, you learn the dances and you watch more videos and you think, oh, like maybe I should try this, and you kind of start building on your like idol character persona.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of becoming an idol as well, like a Japanese anime idol. You made me.
Oh, you made me.
You know her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the winner of 2016. So I'm thinking of doing some idol one day, even though but I'm too shy for karaoke. But yeah, I am too shy, but I'm thinking of doing some Japanese idol.
Wow, good luck.
You can do it.
Yuli is also too shy for karaoke, but
She's doing fine.
She's singing on stage, but we're like, let's go karaoke. She's like, no. You can do it.
Thanks.
Good luck. Good luck.
So a little bit about the character. Oh wait, well let's take a picture. Yeah.
have social media.
So in choosing each of your characters, what was that process like? Because I can see different colors, I can see different, accessories.
So I think like character-wise, we're not very far from our true normal person. I think like throughout the experiences in the cafe and standing on stage for more, we kind of like built it on top of who we are really, but kind of like more hype version of it. Yeah. So I don't think any of us are like smart enough to like a completely different character. Like, so it's kind of, I think everyone's sort of them on a normal day, and just like times 50% hyper is their ACT self.
Very well.
But in terms of color, so yeah, our member color, we didn't have a member color back in the cafe. We actually had 3 different teams back in the cafe. We had team A, team C, team T, characters and burning. We had a team color, but when we left the cafe, we decided to scratch the team idea because we kind of wanted to be one. Oh, so sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay, there's 4 maids up there.
Continue.
One. So instead of team color, we wanted to pick our member color. I think we all just picked our favorite color.
Yeah, or like what was available.
Or that, yes. Actually, yes. I think you had a different color.
Yeah, I went through, well, when I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll choose white, because I wanted, I like swans, so I thought, okay, I like swans. But then everyone else, I saw the colors they chose, and we're so close to rainbow. Okay, okay, I will be the color. So I also originally was thinking like yellow, because I like chicks, like cute baby chicks. I mean, girls are nice too, but I like birds, right? So, but then I thought, oh, it's okay, I'll leave it for someone else who used to be in TT. And then now I'm glad because I love the Yui's sunshine one.
Oh no, she's not here to show it. Someone else has to do it for her.
Oh no, I'm good. We all have like a little catchphrase, and then she said, all of my color is sunshine yellow because I want to be the sunshine in your life. And she turns around like, like member colors is the thing that I think in idol fans, they like to change their light stick to the color and like rep that color, so we thought we should have member colors. Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. And then we wanted to be like a little different, so we named our colors using like an adjective.
I think that like how the colors turned out actually is really good. Like, I don't know, it just like everybody's color matches their personality.
Yeah.
Question over here?
Hi,
Hi.
it's been so long.
Yeah. Last year, the group was here doing a collaboration with Made Dreaming. So, how would you say ACT has changed since that year?
Well, I definitely remember on the first day, because we had an event at the Angel Cafe as well. So on the first day, we met them, and they were so cute. And we all said, we feel underdressed. We need more cute accessories. So like we went home and we dug out like everything. And on the next day we all had like cute cat ears and we put like bows on and everything. And now we are super accessorized, all of us. So that's where that started. I think if you look at the photos.
For sure, yeah, I remember I was in Korea at that time, and I'm just looking at our group chat, and all I see is like, does anyone have any more bows? Does anyone have more ears? Yeah, so back at the cafe, again, like we were like the performance team of the cafe, kind of. So like we had some like buttons and stuff, but like we weren't overly accessorizing ourselves because a lot of us were working as the waitress first, then we going to the back and okay, now we gotta dance. So we actually couldn't really do it. And the May Dreaming show was like the very first show we did as a brand new ACT. So I think that definitely like paved where we
Yeah, it was the first time for many of us to see idol things and like that's not ACT for us to see real life idols, and we were like, wow, we want to be like them. So we got like very inspired by them. They were very nice, and I think back then we were like dance team, and now we are more like idols. Yeah.
So this is going to be our final question. Okay.
Oh, excuse me. When will there be a new main cafe at some point in the future? A new main cafe
Where's the cheesecake?
in Toronto.
That's a question to Uncle Tits, I think.
We don't have any control over it.
Yeah, we have the same question in our mind.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
You could have also tried petitioning.
Who wants to sign our petition?
That requires all of your help.
How about a Patreon fund to make a new cafe?
We do have our own ACT Patreon actually, to support like our funds for like our opening of shows or our goods, like for our photo book that we are still in the making of. So we do have one to support us, but I don't know about one that could support a cafe.
Yeah, unfortunately, like none of us would be able to work at the cafe anymore because we are very busy. Like ACT became much busier, and then we have our personal lives. But I think it's a good idea for anyone who wants to try, like opening a maid cafe. If you're a regular at the old one, you would know like what is popular. Yeah.
Okay, so I see some merchandise over here. Do you guys know what's happening with this?
Yes. So we did bring our merchandise. We have T-shirts, pinback buttons. We have keychains and Romai, which is like a Japanese idol thing. It's basically a photo card thing, and then we are selling sets of them in different occasions that we took. So if you're interested, please come over and take a look.
I think they'll also be on sale during our show, during our performance. So if there's a long line that we can peek. Oh, there's no way to go get them.
Also on our website.
Oh yeah.
So let's thank these ladies for their time.
If you haven't followed us already, then follow us on social media. ACT102.to on Instagram. And if you just look up ACT102 on Google, you can actually find like everything. So
Thank you. We'll see you at our show.
thank you.
I also wanted to say that if you're interested in seeing these young ladies impeccably perform, please come back here by 8:15, and then we'll see the performance of your life, right?
So can we actually play stuff?
Okay.
Show us a few new things over. Okay, sounds good.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, absolutely. Let me get out of their way.